I'm a person with a learning disability and I really want to support other people with learning disabilities. And that's really when I started working for companies like Dimensions, who are a support provider for people with learning disabilities in the community. And they were looking for an expert by experience, someone who had lived experience. So I was a quality auditor. At first I found that very daunting, that fact. My manager at the time just built my skills up, saying, okay, would she like to come with me to a house in Sheffield, which is where I live, and we can just look at what time people get up and do they get to choose the meals they have when they get up. So I gradually got built up, and then eventually I got to the point where I could travel independently. I travelled to places like Bath and Kent and all over the country, and I gradually, my responsibilities got more and more, and that really helped because there was patience with me, whereas before I didn't really say I have a learning disability, and that's where I struggled. I was just expected to cope, and I didn't really. I know what good and bad support looks like, so I can feedback. When I was attending meetings in NHS England, they were very complicated, full of jargon, abbreviations, and I couldn't understand. Whereas I remember through Dimensions, there was Everybody Counts meetings, and agendas had to be accessible. There was only a few items to discuss. There were lots of time for people to speak. You weren't allowed to use abbreviations. So I knew how those meetings should take place. And I remember talking to Hazel, who was the head of our team, and saying, I don't understand half of what's being said here. So really they had to adapt their way of conducting meetings so I could understand. So I think I bring that perspective and help in that manner. I would argue that anybody can have a job, because through my work with Dimensions, I learned of a thing called active support, and that the way that works is it teaches anybody can be involved or carry out a task, even if it's baking a cake. If you imagine someone who's wheelchair bound, who doesn't communicate with words, they can always contribute to certain aspects. So even if it's just holding the bowl while a staff member stirred, that's a way of being involved. And I do have neighbours actually and friends who have learning disabilities and physical needs and who suffer from depression. And they've said, I couldn't work, but I know they have certain skills, like they're very good with computers and filming and talking to people. And I've kind of said to them, well, what's stopping you from having a computer business at home or making films, for example? So I know that every single individual has a certain skill. Just think about what you bring, and we can always involve people, I would say, yeah.